Penelope Books presents Now and Then by Salah el Moncef. As its title suggests, Now and Then is an urgent plea to revisit the present in relation to the past, to bear in mind William Faulkner's admonition that the past is never dead, it's not even past. Lurking behind the warning is a question that haunts this collection of stories and essays. Are we going to have to relive it all over again? The era of racial, ethnic, and national tensions that made the 1930s such a terrifying decade in the history of Western societies. In Now and Then, Salah el Moncef conjures up a set of fearful symmetries between the flimsy diversity and globalism of now and the authoritarian martial echoes of then, a world long consigned to the ash heap of history, or so we think. Moncef's collection of stories and essays is a timely reminder that now and then are frightfully similar, a warning we would do well to heed. Here's an excerpt from Now and Then, Night Visitor, the story of Nosca Duran's surreal encounter with a Berber calligrapher on the coast of Brittany, a haunting event that will transform the young Frenchwoman's life forever. Poor Pauline. She just had to sit there and listen to me rehash the same story over and over again. I was in full monologue the whole time. Out of fear, I guess. Sheer visceral fear. The kind of gut-level dread I was trained to overcome since my first day of karate school. I can't believe it, I said. I'm always catching myself doing it, you know? Thinking about him. I'll be in the middle of something, anything, and it'll just happen. The thought of him, like a power surge. It doesn't creep into my mind or flash into my mind or whatever, it just happens. Have you ever known me to think in circles like that? I mean, here I am, in the heart of Quartier-Latin on a lovely fall afternoon, having a smoke with my best friend in our favorite cafe. And what am I doing? I'm actually discussing him. It's so weird. I'm telling you, Pauline replied. There must be a powerful connection between the two of you. Maybe a mix of fascination and repulsion. That's why I think you should see this woman. It may not be the only way to help you put this whole thing behind you, but it is a reliable way. You need to trust me on this. She'll give you an audio tape with your reading in it. It will help you unearth those dark, unconscious feelings and motives we all tend to bottle up. Okay, I said, then paused, leaning forward slightly and looking her straight in the eye. Okay, I repeated. But do I really want to do that? I mean, this isn't the sort of thing I'd want to do. God, Pauline, my father is the commander of a ballistic missile submarine. My mother is a principal whose idea of a good time is to spend a whole afternoon rock climbing. All this new age crazy talk about consulting an astrologer who will dissect my unconscious motives with her occult powers is totally outside my frame of reference. But that's precisely why you should see her. Maybe you've reached a point in your life where you need to shake up your frame of reference. That's probably the hidden meaning behind this experience you've had. You should take it as a sign. You probably need to transition to a new plane of existence, something that's simply you, as opposed to your parents. I think this is a moment of self-renewal for you, an exciting plunge into the novel and unknown. Talk about a plunge. It started in the summer of 2008, whatever it was, shortly before I decided, abruptly, chaotically, to move to America and become an altogether different person. Was it a glimpse of a new plane of existence? Probably. Something that's simply me? I didn't know yet. I had just graduated from the Sorbonne and taken a position as a high school teacher in Paris's 12th district. My parents had bought me a studio apartment in the 5th district, a graduation present. It was, in other words, an exciting time. But it was also a period during which I found myself dwelling in the bliss of a pressure-free gap between two equally ebullient life phases. I remember spending the first 2 weeks of summer reveling in that hiatus, a lazy, laid-back interval between my last days as a newly graduated student and those tumultuous early fall training weeks that mark the admittance of rookie teachers into the realm of public education. In other words, like my friends who had decided to go into teaching, I was determined to spend most of the summer not having to think about my next move, squeezing all the carefree fun out of those post-graduation days. I slept late every day, vegged out, went to movies, caught up with friends, ate out a lot. Then came the day that changed all that. You've been listening to an excerpt from Salah el Moncef's Now and Then, published by Penelope Books. Publication date, January 2023. Commenting on Now and Then, Provost Professor Stephen Watt has recently written, "Stunning evocations of place and time grace both stories. North African architecture and civic life, Breton landscapes and Parisian landmarks, familial interaction and intense affect, impeccable precision and bewildering ambiguity. The aestheticism of Moncef's world, that of its natural beauty and that of the built environment, is also inextricably global, multinational and multicultural. This could not be more urgently needed as we stagger through yet another historical moment when national borders are being transformed into sites of political violence."